Hello, welcome to my craft room. My name is Terry Phelps and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm hoping everything is working. Yeah. So how is everyone? Happy Wednesday. It's over the hump day. And tonight, I'm just going to share really quick. I'm not going to be on very long, but I want to share what I did with this month's Paper Pumpkin. Actually, it was last month's Paper Pumpkin, May. And it's called Mountain Majesties. And I can go down to my desktop as well. I'm hoping my sound is working. But this is what the kit looks like. And so it's designed to make 9 cards. And these are what the kit is supplying. And so these, you can't really tell because these are pictures, but these are different layers that you're building. So it's pretty cool. It's a great stamp set for our men in our lives. It's got a happy Father's Day. These are the instructions, super easy to make. But my husband and I were, like everybody, big outdoor people, and we loved to hike, and a lot of our vacations are hiking. And so I got distracted there. So when I saw this kit, just a second, I decided I want to do this for some scrapbooking pages because this is fitting perfectly with so many of our pictures. So let me show you kind of what's in the kit real quick. You get a stamp set. And so this has got some really great sentiments. It's "You Mean the World to Me." Couple different stamp sets with a lot of birds. "Happy birthday. I love you. Best dad ever. You're the greatest. Happy Father's Day." And "To a wonderful man." So very cool. And then you always get your ink spot, and these are awesome because they're very small, but they're really great to keep because if you're stamping on something very small, it's really handy to have these little spots. And so I'm just going to show you kind of the pieces that came in this kit. And of course, it's kind of all messed up because I was playing. So these are some scraps. I'm keeping this because in doing a layout, this could come in as a really fun frame, to put some, sentiments and then have a picture in here. So I keep everything, right? So these are some of the envelopes that I cut up and used various parts. Some other envelopes. And another one that I tore apart. You also get all your adhesives that you would need. So these are some of the parts that are left over. So I made I made a six sheet spread of scrapbooking. So this is all what I have left, which is huge. I can still make the cards that came in this kit. I can, continue with scrapbooking. I can, use it in other ways too. So this is what's left. These are some vellum sheets. These are left over for after my scrapbooking. So you get this sheet. Now this is, and these are all instructions that are very easy, so you can put together these kits very easily. Then we had these paper dies, and then we've got really pretty envelopes. I love watercolor. I think they're so pretty. So you have those. Then you had some, like little banners that you can stamp on. And then these were the card bases. So this is one of the card designs. This was another card base. And this was another one. So I still have, a lot of card bases left. I've got 2, 4, 5 cards I can make. So, yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that's kind of what came into the kit. And I did not make the cards yet. I just focused on scrapbooking. So the reason I wanted to show you the pieces is because when I show you my layouts, I just kind of want you to see kind of how I came up with some of my designs, and just show you how I kind of tear apart a kit. And I use elements just out of scraps of different, shapes and sizes. So the colors in this kit as well are Basic Black, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, and Petal Pink. And so what I did was I looked at, because obviously this is a card making kit. It's not for scrapbooking. So I decided I needed to see what kind of designer series paper I have that goes with this. And I was just delighted because the Country Woods 12 by 12, this paper has like 4 of the colors that are in, at least 4 of the colors that are in that kit. So, and I was attracted to this paper because of the wood grains. And I thought that would go really well with the nature, obviously. So I chose that. And then, which is fairly new, we have scrapbooking or two-tone cardstock now. And so I looked at the inventory I had of the two-tone cardstock. And so I found that I had, various colors that also match. And this is the Autumn to Remember pack. And so that was part of a scrapbook kit last fall, I think, obviously. So, but the colors in here, there's about 3 colors that are also in this kit. So I used those as my background too. So that's kind of how I came up with my layouts. And if you don't know what the two-tone paper is, it's a nice cardstock. This is not flimsy, but it's not super thick either. And it's two-tone because one side is darker and the other side is lighter of the same hue. So it's kind of like our blends. Okay, so I collect, we sell all our colors in packs of 10, I think it is. But this is a good way that I like to collect colors too, unless I have a particular project, because I can get, multiple colors in one pack. And these come with 12, so I think you get 2 of each. So just so you know, because that's kind of a new thing, and that's kind of how I came across. Those are the only products that I use other than this kit. Now, if you're not a scrapbooker, I get that. But I want to share this because I want people to see that, if you just go and print a bunch of pictures and just have them around, that you can create scrapbook pages so fast, so easily. And this is a card making kit, but it makes really nice scrapbooking pages. You have everything's coordinated. You don't need a whole bunch of stuff. On my lives, everything is pretty simple. Now I could just go totally nutso on these pages and add a whole bunch of stuff, right? But I'm keeping it really clean and I'm keeping it very simple. So these are the pages that I came up with. I have not like put embellishments on them yet, so I will probably do that. But I'm going to show you what I made. So I have 3 sets. So this is, let me get rid of, now this is big enough here. Let me get rid of me. All right, so the first page I used, now this is part of an element that was supposed to be in a card. And then I took pieces, if you remember all these pieces that we have that are parts of cards, I took and just cut them up, tore them apart, and just kind of played until I made something, that I could use. So this is a part of this little section. And this is part of an envelope. And, these are 2 different designer series papers in that one pack. And I just ripped them to give them the mountain look. And I added my picture. These are die cuts of pine trees that are part of that card making kit. And this is a card base, and I just ripped off the top to just keep that same element going. And I kind of curled these to make them have a little more dimension. So this is one page. And then this is the coordinating page that I did. And this is using the same designer series colors. This is the card base. And these are envelopes that I cut apart, and I used them to be the little frames for my pictures, and that ties in the background color. This, again, is, I think, the other side of this. So I just cut it and I stamped the birds, and I just took other pieces. This is actually a die, paper die that is part of the kit for the cards. I used that, and I just layered some of the vellum pieces. And so I have this, and it says, "Thank you for being the person you are." So to a wonderful man, thank you for the person you are. Now, again, these are super simple, but, I'm just trying to show you don't need a whole lot, and you don't need to spend tons of time. And, these are nice spreads, I think. And of course, I'm going to put some embellishments, but I didn't use anything other than the designer series paper and the kit. So that's one spread. Another spread is this one. And so I took, again, a piece of designer series paper and went from just this side instead of the horizontally. I tore the edges. This is the card base. And then again, I'm just taking some pieces. This is part of an envelope. And these are pieces that I just grabbed, I stamped, and just made different interest, right? super quick, super easy, and yet I think they're striking and very simple. This one I just took and did the same coordinating designer series paper, and this is part of a layer that's supposed to go on the card, and I just kind of cut it out to make it look like a lake. This is the negative of the outline of the tree is the negative of this, and then I took one of the envelopes and I just attached this and cut it out so that it kind of looked like a tree. This kind of to me looks like it's trees in the distance. Stamp the birds and just put "You're the greatest." And this is also a layer that is part of a layer that's supposed to go on the cards. And I put that on there to tie the lake. So that's one side of the spread. And then it says, "You're the greatest," and then "You mean the world to me." And so I took, this is part of an envelope. I cut this apart, and it was, I'm going to put embellishments, I think, along here. And this is kind of wasted space on the photograph, so I added this layer. And again, these are just shapes that are part of the layers to go on the cards, and I just built on that just to give some interest. I tore the sides to kind of follow this, but I think they turned out really nice. The next spread that I did, what did I do with them? Did I show all three already? Did I? Wow, I did. That went fast. So that's what I just wanted to pop on really quick and just, stress that it's so fun and rewarding to do scrapbooking, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive and time consuming. And, my son, kids, they have everything they need, right? My kids are at that age where, they don't need, if they need something, they go get it. And so I made a scrapbook for him, and I just took pictures and just did a glimpse of his life at the time, and just kind of did this little craft scrapbook. And he was so excited to get that because, it's not just another thing. It had meaning, and that feeling when you hit this, right? You just did the right thing when you did that gift, right? It's they love it and appreciate it, and that's what that did, that scrapbooking. And so I was just like, wow, I need to do this more often. And I feel like I am missing something, you guys. It's 1, 2. Really? Did I only do 4 sheets? I thought I did 3. I guess I'll find out when I go. When I probably am not live anymore, then I will find them. Wow, that's crazy. I'm losing my mind. I swear to God. But with that, I just wanted to just pop on really quick and show you how simple and easy it can be. And, And I want you to just enjoy that. Enjoy the crafting. Don't stress out about all of it, you know. I have plenty of things. I could go hog wild on these pages, um, but I don't need to, you know. So anyway, with that, I will close, and I hope you consider, um, you know, when you see paper pumpkin kits or even scrapbooking kits, make cards with them if you're not a scrapper. If you like the layouts or you like the design, um, the papers, all that, make cards out of them if you don't want to do the scrapbooking, and vice versa. You know, this just fits my family. Um, you know, my husband passed away 6 months ago, and so these pictures are awesome to have like in a layout instead of just on my phone or whatnot, you know. So, and this is kind of in honor of him. You know, these are memories that we had, and so it's nice to be able to put them on paper. But with that, I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Take care.